So recently we've heard the news that Twitch has been blasted with hundreds of DMCA notices, and people's channels have been taken down as a result. In origin, those Twitch videos on demand would be muted if there was an essence of that music in the video. But now it seems like the big record label companies are going after Twitch in general and just taking down the videos altogether. They just don't want it on there. RIAA have been involved, Warner Music Group, etc. And I can understand that Twitch need to act upon this as soon as possible to not face any further legal action, because we may not even have a platform to go back to if they do nothing about it. Matt Heafy from Trivium recently made a video discussing the process of getting permission, and in a nutshell, the top owners call the shots. Now, he does mention possible solutions, but we may need to wait a bit more if we want those to happen. And ultimately, even with those measures in place, the labels will still have the final say. Luckily, many labels and artists have come out and said that their music is whitelisted for streaming. They don't mind, they have their own conditions if you do want to stream their content, and respectively, I'm going to do that. UNFD, for example, who have bands like Architects and Northlane under their belt, and Sharptone Records have also announced that they'll be following suit. These are the people behind Holding Absence, Polaris. But while there are these tweets coming out, there are certain guidelines that you need to watch out for in order to avoid any trouble whatsoever on your own streams. So if those labels have said you can use our music, only go for their releases. Don't go for anything that is not listed under their releases. So like, in terms of Architects, everything from Lost Together onwards can be used. So sorry to those who like Sam Carter shouting, "You fucking pigs." Maybe soon. Another issue that I still need more clarification on is bands like Silent Planet have released records under two different labels, UNFD being one of them. So the other one will need a bit more clarity if we're able to use that music in the streams. But I'm going to be looking for independent artists, unsigned artists, anyone like that to put in my playlist as well. And that will be ready to be shared on YouTube for people to listen to themselves. Because I want everything to get exposure, not just what I've followed for a long time. It's always nice to discover new music. I'm always in Spotify looking at the newest albums and stuff like that. So it's just a nice little gesture, if you get what I mean. But there is one big catch that not many people are mentioning and people are getting the misconception of, and that is what you can stream on. And hence the title of this video. You may be thinking, yay, I can stream on Spotify now! Slow down there, buddy. Don't make my mistake. I did one stream with that, and it didn't get taken down or whatever. I've taken it out now, but Spotify most likely is not the place to go. The problem with streaming on Spotify is that Spotify itself is only licensed for personal use. You can't play it at public events, you can't play it for anything commercial related, you have to use it for your own personal use. And I think when it comes to public events, streams are included in that, because, I mean, it's a virtual public setting. And you could say, well, Spotify aren't really going to detect me using it. Well, we don't really know what technology they have behind it, whether they have an identifier that hears music off their platform being streamed. All in all, you just pose a risk of breaking the Spotify terms of service and risk getting your account suspended or deleted in general. And for someone who gets Spotify included in their phone contract, I'm not really willing to take that risk. If I looked at other terms of service like Amazon Music, Apple Music, they pretty much say the same thing, personal use. So I personally wouldn't risk using those on your Twitch either. The only one I can say that looks different is YouTube's terms of service, which says you can use it, but as long as either it's fair use or you have permission from the copyright owners. And if these labels are saying that you can use it and it's whitelisted on Twitch, then go ahead. The one thing I say is check where you're getting the music from. If it's uploaded by someone who has nothing to do with the artist or song or the record label whatsoever, I wouldn't suggest using that, because you're not really giving any views to the band themselves. Because most importantly, I'm not streaming the music just to make my stream more interesting. I'm doing it so that I can say to people, check out what I listen to, and if you like it, check it out yourselves. Giving the band more exposure. And in that, like I said, I have a public playlist that I'm going to be adding songs to, so that will be a link on my Twitch as well. And for someone like me who's heavily into their rock and metal music, this is great news, because I mean, when I see a lot of Twitch playlists, a lot of the music can be music that I'm not particularly into, so I don't really seem as interested in putting it in my playlist. and it's given me a chance to listen to more of the releases, and, you know, they've got some stellar stuff, I gotta be honest, so that stuff is going in my stream as well, so you will be hearing music that even I have only just discovered. The other thing I'll be doing as well is only showing it in my intro when I'm saying I'm streaming soon, just to give people a little bit of something to listen to before the stream starts. I won't be using it during gameplay because if I'm going to put highlights on YouTube or anything like that, I don't want to risk YouTube doing something about it. And another important one is Dragon Force allowing people to use their music on Twitch. The last 3 albums, which is Extreme Power Metal, Reaching into Infinity, and Maximum Overload. And a lot of people have asked them, how can we use it without the labels giving us grief? Well, according to them, according to Herman Lee especially, they independently own those albums, so they can say what goes with it. But in cases like Roadrunner Records, where they're owned by Atlantic Records, then, you know, WMG and all those are the ones that you know, I would say just stay away from for now. There's also a website called Creator Hype, which has a list of already allowed music, along with information in the Twitch subreddit. And if I find any more information, I'll be sure to share it in an upcoming video as well. So my aim is to provide more info on this whole debacle. But what I suggest for any person planning to stream this music is at least show the artist and the song title in your stream. Give them some exposure, let others know what you're listening to, and encourage people to play it themselves. So that's it for now. I hope it was useful, and if you've got any questions, I'm going to be continually researching this stuff, so any questions that you have, put them in the comments, and I'll be sure to ask the labels or whoever else. And if you like and you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe and follow my Twitch, which I usually stream on Thursdays, Saturdays and Sundays, and keep up to date with all my social media. Thank you guys, and until next time, lights out.